The May 9th Planning Board is now in session. Please rise for the pledge. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, first item on the agenda is Rockland Plastic Surgery sign location, PB 18-20. It's on. Please step up, sign in, tell the stenographer your name and your association with the project, please.
My name is Brian O'Connor, Full-Length Sign, Valley Cottage, New York. We are representing Rockland Plastic Surgery and the owner of the building.
Okay, could you explain your project tonight?
We are requesting approval to install a double-face internally illuminated pylon sign on the southeast corner of the property. So basically, this is Route 304. We're requesting to install the sign here. It'll be a 10-foot setback from the right-of-way, 7 foot from the side yard. Presently, there's one small sign on the building. There's a couple of graphics on the awning that's there, but there's no freestanding sign. The doctor is starting in to rent out some of the building space to tenants. They'd like some presence on the street, so that's the reason why we're before the board now for approval of the sign.
Okay, thank you. Okay, let me read the comments. Project review has no additional comments beyond the comments submitted by agencies for this project. Jane Slavic, she has two. ACA board approval is required. New York State DOT approval is required. Department of Environmental Engineering has no comments. Department of Planning recommend the following modifications. A review must be completed by the New York State Department of Transportation and all required permits obtained. 2, on April 16, 2018, a letter from the Rockland County Drainage Agency notes that the applicant is in violation of a permit given previously. A notification of completion form and an as-built drawing must be provided to them. The resolution of this permit violation addressed before the sign plan can be granted by the Town of Orangetown Planning Board. Let's address that now. With the building department, are they still in violation?
Sorry, I can't hear the questions. Could you repeat the question?
No, because they have a violation evidently from the Rockland County Drainage Agency that they had not completed their previous application.
Oh, I'm not sure.
We were made aware of it at the workshop meeting. We notified the property owner, the doctor, and they, I think, did not know about this, about the open permit. So they are going to be working to get that closed out. And we're hoping that the board would grant conditional approval for the sign based upon the permit being issued after the drainage issue is taken care of.
Okay. Let me read the third section. The town must ensure that proposed sign conforms to all sign requirements as per section 3.11, table general use regulations, column 5 and number 11. Department of Highways has no problem. Can I have a letter of April 16, 2018 pertaining to this problem with the drainage permit? And in their previous letter, they said, and I don't know if it's true or not, I think our attorney's going to have to say, is that we cannot grant them any permission to go ahead with this until they satisfy that.
Well, first of all, it's going to have to go to the ACA board before final being granted. And I agree with that.
Okay, so we could theoretically go ahead with this then?
Correct.
Okay.
But again, it does have to go to the ACA board.
Right, right,
And he has to satisfy the violation.
right.
I think it's fair.
Okay, let me see. Where am I? Okay, that's that. Rockland County Sewer has no objection, has no questions. And then I have a letter from the ZBA permit. And then from Rockland County Planning. That's it, Cheryl. Anything else?
On the last page, around 10 drainage agency, circle the important.
The email. The email?
It was emailed to me.
Oh, okay, yeah. To the town, the town of Orangetown Planning with copies to the ZBA and the building department. This is in reference to the planning board's referral for the meeting May 9th, 2018. Please see the attached PDF copy of the RCDA letter with existing permit violations regarding the above referenced parcel. Please have the applicant address the permit violation immediately. Please note that the Rockland County Drainage Agency, RCDA, does not object to the planning board assuming responsibility for lead agency for CEQA purposes for the above project. Okay, thank you, Sheriff. Okay. Any of the board members have any comments?
No question.
Okay, Mr. Dell.
Yes, just to reiterate, there's no additional lighting on this sign other than it being internally illuminated, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And obviously, you take care of the RCDA problem.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. That's it for now. Thank you, Mr.
Thank you,
Chairman.
Mr. Dell. Mr. Bond.
And all the neighbors were notified of this? Because usually we get a couple of people from across the street complain about anything that's happening there, so I don't know if we got anybody here tonight, but usually we do. So,
Okay.
No, you're right, the car wash has always
At the
had,
car wash, we had
Yeah.
people and, yeah, so. Okay.
Thank you. Mr. Young?
no, as long as you clear up the violations with drainage, I think we'll be fine. That's all I
Mr.
have,
Sweeney?
Mr. Chair.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No,
Similar comments, just, I'm just gonna ask, I'm trying to follow along, so are they asking for final tonight, or just preliminary to then go to
No,
the
no.
board, then final come back?
Oh, they're gonna have to come,
Well, it's preliminary.
Okay, but it made it sound like we're gonna give them a conditional final, as long
no.
as they met everything, we're going with preliminary, correct?
I mean, I could not sign it until I get
from ZBA.
something.
From Akabor.
From
Akabor.
Not sign it until I get something from Rockland County Drainage telling me that it's satisfied.
So which way are we thinking of going is my question.
I don't have a problem not making them come back. If we can, there's a way.
Well,
to
no,
do
I,
it.
we'll,
Okay.
We'll
I'm
find
not
out.
Come
sure.
back. I
Yeah.
can't imagine that,
I just want to
We'll
clarify,
hold
before we
it.
vote, I want to
We'll
clarify.
pull the board. I wanna see what,
Yeah.
I'm sure it has something to do with.
Mr.
it.
Mandel has, I think.
Few boards.
Anything to say on that?
Yes.
This has been from 2003.
Yeah.
There's been
Yeah, when the building was
various,
built.
The building is built, there's been various permits issued from the town.
Yeah.
It could be something that maybe just wasn't filed.
Right. I can't imagine there's anything that.
Well, drainage regulations have changed over the years, and whatever it is, though, you need the permit. What's the, you're next door, Pearlmont, right, the car wash?
Car wash, correct.
Is there any sign on the edge of their property that conflicts with your property?
That was something that was brought up at the
Project,
workshop
yes.
meeting. They did receive approval back in the fall for a freestanding sign, and their sign is located on the northeast corner. Ours would be the southeast corner of the property, theirs would be on the northeast corner of their property. I took a look at the resolution, the approval. I also visited the site. The sign is not installed, but the footings are installed. I don't believe that there's going to be an issue as far as any of the sight lines looking at either sign. There's a difference in the grades of the property. Their sign is higher. It's approximately 16 feet. It's 15'7" to the top of the sign. Their grade is also higher than where we're proposing. So I think what their sign is also pushed back a little bit further. It's on a little bit of a strange angle, their sign, not necessarily perpendicular to the road. So I don't believe that there would be any issue as far as.
Yeah, what's the height of your sign gonna be?
Our sign is
11 feet.
is 11'2". So it is smaller.
Should be below the sight
It should
line.
be below their sign, and their sign does not have any pole covers, so it's just two pieces of steel, so I don't anticipate that there'd be any issues.
Oh. I mean, this is only my opinion, but I can see preliminary, but I can't see a final until they settle it up with the drainage agency. Otherwise, we're setting a bad precedent, in my view.
Okay. Is that all the comments from the board? All right, I'm going to open it to the public. Does anybody from the public have any comment on this application? Okay, hearing none, we'll close it.
Motion to close.
Make a motion. Mr. Young, second?
I'll second.
Mr. Bond, okay.
All in favor?
Aye. In respect to whether we give him the final or not, I mean, I know Mr. Mandel is a little concerned about it. Are any of the other board members concerned?
I'm a little concerned because RCDA, unless this is a new way of, new form of behavior, I've never heard them ask for anything like this. I think it's a question, I think it should be resolved. If it's a minor matter, like they say, they'll be able to solve it. I think we could approve it upon, one of the conditions is that they satisfy the conditions of RCDA. Otherwise, I don't have any problem voting on for final, but I'd want to make that one of the conditions.
That would be
Yeah,
one of the
that would be
conditions,
Right.
that they have to satisfy whatever
Yeah,
RCDA
that's-
wants. They have to resolve that.
My only concern is, we don't know, like, I wish they knew what the violation was. We don't know what it is. Nothing here says what the violation, it may be simple, it may not be. Yeah, do you have something?
There is the notice of current violation.
Yeah, but I didn't read what it actually, what the
I think all they
violation
have
was.
to do is submit a notarized notification of completion form and an as-built. And it's paperwork.
Yeah, I think it's strictly
Oh, it's
paperwork.
just paperwork? Okay.
If it all is, because what they're talking about is Muddy Creek, and we know how that affects all of Pearl River when that backs up. That's a major flooding problem. We don't know how the Hillside Project is going to affect it when you have a major storm, how it's going to back up Muddy Creek as the as-built, or whatever they were supposed to do or required to do. We don't know that until RC says, yes, they have. If they said RCDA is not satisfied with that, I don't see why they just can't come back for a final. We can give them a preliminary for Akabor and have them come back for the final with the RCDA approval.
But I
If they don't
think,
get the permit, they have to come back. If they get the permit, it's a moot point, you know?
but I think if
So, I mean, why-
they're going to go forward, because they said they will proceed it to get the permit to satisfy RCDA's concerns. So once they do that, then they're satisfying all our concerns. So why make them come back? Because if they don't get it, they're not going to get the building permit.
Yeah, if it wasn't Muddy Creek, I would say if it was a small stream or something, I'd say I wouldn't have a problem. But Muddy Creek is a major problem. We don't know exactly what, the permit, how they comply with all the conditions.
But the town,
Necessary.
but the town will make them comply with all the conditions.
I can't see it. I see what Muddy Creek does when it floods.
No,
It's
I
a
understand that,
problem.
but that's something else. I mean,
Mr. Chairman?
I'd like to poll the board to see how they feel on this.
As a potential compromise, could we give it a set amount of days? That they have 30 days, it has to be done within 30 days?
Because I think basically what we're talking about is paperwork to be caught up with the
I
building
understand.
department.
If we were to give a limit on 30 days, would you then feel comfortable with it, Mr. Mandel?
No,
I think-
not for this particular.
I don't think that's fair to the applicant, because they can't determine how long RCDA will take to respond. They might get it to them in 20 days and not get here back for a month.
Part of,
Yeah.
one reason why this actually, we started this process back in the fall, and through no fault of the town, but the engineer that was really originally used is no longer in business, so we had to go to a different engineer and have the property surveyed again, the sign placed on there. So in all due respect, 30 days, we might have to do that with a final as-built plan. If one's not available, we might have to have this new engineer take care of that. So 30 days might not necessarily be enough. But I agree with you, Mr. Chairman, that unless we comply with getting the violation cleared up, the building department's not going to issue us the permit. So if we can move the process along, get final planning board approval tonight, go on to Akabor, get their approval, and then hopefully, while all this is being done, we clear up the violation, and then a building permit can be issued for the sign.
It's up to the board, whatever the board wants to do.
At this point, I'm going to agree with Mr. Mendel in this particular issue. So that's how I'm feeling, but I'm sure the other people.
I'm okay with giving them final, subject to.
Well, you want to make the motion, final conditions? I mean, it's your
Are you
call.
calling everybody or just?
I'm asking, you know,
I'm okay with that.
Okay.
everybody else?
All right.
Are we okay with final with the conditions?
I'm okay with final with conditions. I do want closure on this drainage
Yes,
violation.
yes.
I mean, Mr. Mendel is right. Muddy Creek is not something we take lightly, so. But definitely closure is needed on this.
Okay.
Okay, do we need to
Right, we need to do.
make that?
Yeah, I just wanted to pull everybody, see how we're doing.
Okay.
Okay, so do I have a motion for neg deck?
First of all, lead agency.
Okay, lead
I'll make
agency.
motion for lead agency.
Okay, Mr. Bond, lead agency, second?
Second.
Okay, Mr. Mandel, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay,
I'll make
opposed?
motion to
None.
lead that.
Mr. Bond, neg deck,
Second.
second? Mr. Young? All in favor?
Aye.
And I'll make motion for final with conditions.
Final with conditions. And the conditions are, let me get my glasses. Jane Slavich's letter, Department of Building and Zoning, she has 2 items. Rockland County Planning has 3. And I believe that is all. Okay, do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Young, all in favor?
Aye.
Against.
Against.
Okay, two against, okay? Very
Very
good,
much.
okay, thank
Mr.
you,
Chairman,
okay.
Could you direct the buildings department to notify this board in writing when it's completed and get the RCDA approvals?
Okay, Cheryl, can we have that, a note from that?
If I get the letter, I will forward it.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, Skate Palisades Internal Commercial Subdivision, PB 18-21. Please sign in and state your name and your affiliation with the project.
Good evening, name is Donald Brenner, representing Skate. This is a project that has been approved in the year 2015. The applicant forgot to file from that, so therefore we're just coming back to get reapproval for the not to be filed. No new work. It's been approved by the board of fire department.
Okay, let me go through the consultant's reports. Project review has no comments. The Office of Building, Zoning, and Planning, no comments. Department of Environmental Management, no comments. And that's all I have. Cheryl, is there anything else? Okay, that's it. Any of the board members have anything? Ms. Yost, anything?
Nothing.
Mr. Dell?
No comments.
Mr. Bond?
I have nothing.
Mr. Young?
Nothing, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Sweeney?
No comment.
Mr. Mandel?
No comments.
Thank you, sir. I know.
No. The clerk will
Okay, so basically, we can reapprove final? Do we have a motion?
motion to reapprove final.
Mr. Mandel, motion second?
Second.
Mr. Sweeney, all in favor? Oh,
Wait,
we have to do a neg deck?
Reaffirm that.
Okay, we'll start, I'm sorry.
Motion to reaffirm, like that.
Mr. Mandel makes a motion to reaffirm, Mr. Bond seconds, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, final with conditions, there are none, but
Make
final.
a motion for final with conditions.
Mr. Bond, final. Mr. Mandel, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Thank you, sir.
We're not done yet.
Don't think this is
No, not gonna say nothing.
walk out quietly.
Don't ruin it.
Yeah.
No, we can- that's
Other business.
Other business, Crestron.
Good evening, did you? Pay? Okay.
My name is John Spear, I'm with the Town Engineering. We're representing Crestron for this minor change in their approval that you gave us in January. What has happened, what's transpired is that Crestron has re-looked at what they want to do in the interior, what kind of, how they want to allocate their space. The plan we submitted in January left open a loading dock, we call it loading dock number 20. It was all the way at the southern end of the building. Left me some strange geometry where I had to leave a truck loading dock in between my new parking area and my walkway. And I had to allow for a truck turning in there for a truck to back up. So this design is much more efficient. What they're going to do is shift the parking field that you approved down to the south, approximately 22 feet. That allows us to maintain what we call loading dock number 9, which is up to the halfway point of the building. We can close up our dock 20 that we showed as being open in January. This proposed change does net us some additional spaces as well. I want to say we gained an additional 11 spaces by modifying this parking field in that fashion. And we also pick up another 2 land bank spaces.
Okay, let me read the comments. Project review is no comments. Department of Environmental Engineering, the proposed total area of disturbance shall be listed on drawing C100. And then the only thing we have the narrative from your office.
Jay Slater's office, any comments on this at all?
Excuse me?
Jay Slater's office, any comment on this at all?
No, she just had that one comment.
No, nothing.
I mean, this is considered other business.
Yeah, why is this?
Why are you not just refiling or?
Oh, it seems to be a rather minor de minimis kind of change here. The board has already approved the parking field being switched out for a set of loading docks and that being turned into a parking field. This just kind of shifts that parking field a little bit to the south. There's no change there's no change in drainage, lighting. We're going to be recreating the parking field that's currently on that site at the northwest corner of the building. Pretty much we're going to be recreating that on the southwest corner of the building. It's the same plan. We're just moving it down a little bit further. Instead of leaving open our dock 9, instead of leaving open dock 20, we're going to shift that down, take dock 20 away, leave dock 9. Is how it's looked at internally by us, but it's.
Trust me, we're not going to stop you from closing up loading docks. I guarantee you that.
Thank you.
That's for sure.
You did have plenty.
I was gonna say the same thing, I'm just wondering, like, how is it considered like a small change that's not even part of regular business? I feel like if you're adding parking spaces, you're adding impervious surface, isn't that gonna change the drainage?
In this case, sir,
Yeah.
the area we're taking over is mostly concrete. It's mostly
Okay.
concrete loading dock area.
All right,
So we're making that change. Also, the first go-through got a couple of tough comments from Mr. Peters over at DEME and the drainage consultant that I had to go through, and I responded to those gentlemen. I want to say back in March at some point. I haven't seen the response back. I know the answer. It all works out rather well. The change in impervious surface is trivial. The thing that gets you is, as you said just a minute ago, Chairman, the regs have changed. So a 100-year storm is now 9 inches of rain in 24 hours as opposed to the 7.5 inches, which it was when we got our original approval for this year. That's a 20% increase. That's a game changer. Luckily, our basin was sized to be able to accommodate that, so it's not going to require any changes in our stormwater detention system or anything like that. But I went through that exhaustive analysis and sent that to Mr. Peters and to Mr. DiGennaro.
Okay. Any board members have any comments? Mike?
No, I don't.
Mr. Dell?
Yes, a couple things. When you said a trivial amount of square footage, about how many square feet are you talking about? Is it over 600?
Yes, it may be over 600.
Because I thought something was required for that, when you have over 600 square
Still
foot.
undergoing drainage review, we haven't gotten approval on it.
Okay, so
Yes.
we're not going really for, if it hasn't gotten drainage approval, what exactly are you looking for tonight?
I'm looking for approval for this parking field to be the parking field we construct. The parking field I show you on
All right,
drawings.
but we don't have drainage.
We don't have drainage approval. We have.
Okay, so then all we'll be able to give is maybe a preliminary
We
tonight.
have a final with conditions, and the conditions we have not yet gotten,
So they have approved drainage, they just with conditions.
Right, they have-
But
Yes.
it may be augmented, okay.
correct, I think that was the point of Mr. Peters' comment, where he says, give me the final disturbed area, or.
Right,
I think he's looking at,
we both have the
he's
same
driving at
concern.
that. I'm gonna provide Mr. Peters with that information and more, to make sure he's satisfied.
All right, now, the area directly opposite this, is that the Maytoff Day Camp?
It's a day camp, sir, I don't know the.
Okay,
name.
yes, okay, I just want to make sure
Yes.
that, for the record, that it's not on the residential side.
Oh, correct, no, we are not going anywhere to the east.
Okay, that's first. Second, when you say you're going to reproduce the same lighting scheme,
Yes,
obviously, if you could cut it down a little bit, that always is not a bad thing. Because the people behind in the areas to the east of you, they used to be able to see a sunset. Now they have to see your building, which is maybe not a bad thing. But, you know, if they could see a couple stars at night, that might not be bad too. Whatever you can do to decrease it, okay? Keep it within limits?
certainly, sir, yes.
All right. Those are my only concerns. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Bond?
No, I'm good.
Mr. Young?
No comments, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Sweeney?
I think my question was answered. I was confused about the process. So you're at the point where we gave you final with conditions. You have not got the permit yet because you haven't met the conditions. So
Yes,
just making a small change to those conditions that are needed.
yes.
I get it now. I'm good. I get it now.
Mr. Mandel?
I just concur with Mr. Dell's comments. If you could do that, that would be appreciated. Thank you.
Any vote on this, Cheryl?
Now what do we, I don't know, what do we do now?
We're waiting on drainage.
Yeah, it's just.
So we don't need to vote on this,
No,
or
we don't have
you're just
to vote.
gonna,
It's just,
okay.
approve it,
All right.
or say yes, and then, just gets added into the other conditions that has to be fulfilled for it to approve.
Assuming drainage comes back.
Yeah, drainage
Favorable.
comes back, approve
Good
no
job.
conditions, Bruce's comes back, approve no conditions,
Then
and
it's
that's how it's done.
another paperwork.
Got it.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Oh, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Other business?
Did we just take a vote on it?
But no vote.
Okay, thank you.
Basically looking for comments.
So this FYI is just for our information about the tree
Yeah,
line?
it's just FYI, you see, it's another town.
Okay, yeah.
What's this other business here?
That's a town board referral, zone change,
So, what do they want us to do?
secret, they want to be lead agency, and if you have any comments about it,
Where,
Good.
where's the zone change?
downtown Pearl River.
Yeah, what exactly are we looking to do there? I didn't really.
They're talking about putting a senior,
CS to
Yeah, yeah.
VAC.
adult living or something in there, in that parking lot. That's right across from Beckman's.
What do they want us to
Beckman's was?
It's the secret that we have to, that
Beckman's,
Tom
not
has to
Beckman,
sign.
right? The liquor store.
Town board to be lead agency,
Something downtown.
and if you have comments.
Yeah. I don't have any comments. Anybody else have any
I-
comments?
Sorry, where is it?
Joyce Realty downtown?
Realty, William Street
Okay.
between Washington
Oh,
and...
this is Joyce, this is just Joyce Road.
Joyce.
This isn't that other plan they were talking about.
No, this is the one over Joyce Realty. We're
Okay,
gonna
right,
build a
where-
three-story
Amen.
pack with 20-something apartments with no parking.
Yeah, that's Main Street.
Is that it?
It's William Street, it's William Street.
South, North William Street.
That's the old, that's the Joyce.
It's Joyce Realty, where Joyce Realty is. It used to be the old Grand Union back in the day, but,
Yeah, I think that's, what I know about the project, they want to build up a three-story packed zone, 24 units, I think, some one, some two, over 55. There's no parking, so they need variances on that. And they said at the public hearing or their presentation before the town board that their market study said there'd be plenty of applicants, and they said there's no problem with the current, the one that Lane has over the old movie theater. However, I'm hearing that they do have difficulties in filling up the packed building over where the old theater was. So I don't know, no, that's the only things I've heard so far at the town board meetings.
And this new facility would be in the building where Joyce is now?
It would be above it.
so this is gonna be a new pack zone, not
I
like
said new
not
packed zone.
the pack zone that we have in existence.
Right,
It's gonna be denser than what that was. That
Correct.
wasn't very dense, the pack
Right.
zone that
Yeah.
that they had
Right.
first approved.
right.
There's only been a few units that have built on that. but,
Yeah. This is gonna be more units, and from what they said, I couldn't tell the exact size of the building or where it was gonna be laid out on the site plan. I don't think it was that specific that night, or wasn't available for us to take a look at, the exact footprint of the building, how far it's gonna go, how high it was. They said it's as high as the highest part of the movie theater, but the back of the movie theater is a little higher than the front. They wanna have commercial underneath, but they didn't say how much commercial.
That building has that piece that sticks up, so
Right.
I'm sure that will be. a
But that's all
public
premature.
maximum.
All they're asking now is that the town is lead agency on the zoning change, right? Any kind of building would come before us before they actually did anything, right?
They're actually asking two things. Number one, do you agree the town board should be the agency, which that does seem appropriate for this type of thing. So number one, you should vote on that. Number two, does this board, has a board have any comments to the town board related to this?
I just think that my only opinion on it is that they should tie it into whatever, that other proposal that's out there, rather than just go haphazard and approve this, and then you got this other proposal that's out there from, they wanna do that all along town, they wanna go,
Yeah, that's, do we want?
that's out there now. I don't know whether they've
Do
been
we wanna
before
go
the town
down,
board.
do we wanna go
They've had a
all
group
over
that
town
came
with
from town.
three-story buildings?
Right.
Is it gonna change the
Yeah.
downtown character of Pearl River? Because there are parts of the land, there's one on Jefferson between South Main and whatever, this big parcel of land there. Are they looking to go 3 stories high there, near residential areas? That's the whole thing. We set a precedent by letting them build something new, whereas with the theater, we let them renovate an existing building. Here, it's a totally different
Yeah,
aspect. I don't know if they,
I would assume they're gonna rip down that building, I guess, they're gonna have to.
Yeah, I assume.
Probably have to. To go up, I mean, it was
I
a
mean,
one-story
I
building,
think we're in
I
a
can't imagine
situation-
structurally that,
And I'm sorry. I think we're in a situation here, we're asked to prove something that we haven't seen.
Right.
So all we can do is just say, no comment, but it'd be nice in the future if we had something to look at, If they want to take it on, that's fine. But I have no idea, I haven't seen a plan or anything else.
You're not being asked to approve anything.
No, I know
I
that.
know, but for a comment,
But
Well,
even
the problem is-
to
once the town board approves
to
it,
give them lead agency
it's gonna
status,
be approved.
which basically I'm fine with. It might be nice if we had something, either a letter of justification or something like that from them, or maybe look at something, rather than it just coming in kind of blanket, here it is.
Well, they did send, there are documents here attached.
No, I saw them, but they weren't really descriptive of what was
Right.
being proposed. Now, I'm sure in their wisdom, they're gonna make a great decision, and I'm sure they're gonna exercise their due diligence. But it would be nice, if we had maybe a little bit of information, to be their cheering committee.
The comment should be that we can't make a comment without additional information as to the size of the building, what it's gonna look like, then we could actually give them a comment. But at this point, no comment because you did not give us the information necessary to make one.
Well, you said the same thing I did, as usual.
You know, and I think they should tie both those proposals in together.
In fact,
Yes.
it should be
Yes.
tied in, the comment besides what he just said, should be, what you just said, Bruce, it should be tied in, what is the comprehensive plan for downtown Pearl River?
Downtown Pearl River.
Does it give it, is that part of it, or they're gonna change the comprehensive plan?
Because just to do it haphazard doesn't
That's
really make a lot of
correct.
sense.
Yeah, when
Yeah,
they block it
so
at
how
time.
does that
Yeah.
fit into the comprehensive plan, downtown Pearl River? That should be part of our comment.
Okay, so
Yeah,
first
'cause
of
I
all,
know
I would say
Nancy-
the first and easy one is whether this board agrees that the town board should be the lead agency. So that's the first
Yeah, I don't
one.
think we have any problem with
Yes.
that.
No, they're gonna make the zoning
Maybe
change, we can't.
Yeah.
Ask for the vote, and then I would, in that resolution, authorize Mr. Warren as chairman to sign the document that was attached to it, that this board agrees that the town board should be the agency. And then after you vote on that, someone can propose a comment, and you vote on that.
So I make a motion that we agree to let the town serve as lead agency in this project.
And authorize the chairman to sign.
Signing right now.
Yeah, with the comment that they should tie that in
I would make
Well,
the
that's
with
motion.
any other
Okay,
existing proposals that are out there.
So we need a second first.
I'll second.
No.
All in favor?
Aye.
Now we gotta do the comments.
So I'll make a motion that.
The comment would be
Yeah,
that they should take a look at the entire downtown. Because there's another proposal that's floating around there as we speak.
How does it fit into the comprehensive plan for downtown Pearl River? And that we would have made a comment on the project if they had given us the information as to the size, the scope, the layout, the footprint of the building, which they did not do.
Mr. Mandel, I think when that gets finalized, that will come before the planning.
Yeah, but they asked us
But
for a
once
comment.
but the the problem
Just
is,
for the zone.
not that it's a problem, but what happens with these things
Yeah.
Right.
is once it gets the approval of the town board, it's coming to us. We don't really have a lot of say over it. You know, if they're approving the project and they're seeing the plans and they're approving those plans, they're coming to us.
This is a zone change, though. There's
Yeah.
no plan
Yeah.
to build.
I think we just need to put the comment, just, is this in line with the
I would
downtown
assume they're gonna see it.
comprehensive? That, I think we should just leave it at that.
Plan for downtown.
Right.
Just like the
But
house.
this, if this is indeed a
Or the
zone
apartments,
change.
those apartments, the same
Right.
I've been to zoning
We did
board
all
of
that.
appeals, and I know how they work.
Next thing you'll
Usually
do
they're
is see
looking
is
at
that-
something in order to make that
And don't
determination.
forget workforce housing.
And we, really can't other than to assume this. But the other thing is, this will become precedence for other buildings afterwards. And I think that should be pointed out in a comment that, we respectfully consider the town board be aware that whatever this is, this will be used as precedence for the rest of Pearl River. I think we got that.
Well, that's why we want the master comprehensive plan of downtown Pearl River.
Because
Exactly. Well, I don't know if they're gonna,
And I
Because-
understand this is not going to be zoned as workforce housing.
Right. Well,
I doubt that's gonna happen.
yeah,
Oh,
I
no,
don't think that's gonna happen.
We can't assume that because came through months before. Just because the board is different, it doesn't mean that somehow this could be brought up again as part of the zone change. Well, we'll do a pack, and what about workforce housing zoning there too? All with the comprehensive plan.
Because, I mean, if you look around us, Nanuet just approved something.
Correct.
I haven't really seen all the details of
That's
it.
this new,
Yeah.
they want to do downtown areas, hubs
Special
around
zone,
transportation.
around the train
We're going
track.
around in circles here. Didn't
Park
we just
Park
vote-
Ridge is
Well,
doing something similar to that right
I'm trying to
now.
understand, there was a lot of talking going on.
Someone needs to
But-
propose
yeah.
specific language. so that you can
We
vote on
voted
that
to let them be lead agency on a zone change, and they specified the zone change they want. All right, and we voted on that. Anything else is all speculative.
I don't believe Mr. Mandel had proposed something. Cheryl was taking notes.
Yeah.
Cheryl, do you mind reading back so they can vote on what Mr. Mandel proposed?
We want them to look at the entire downtown, because there's other project going on down there, and how does it fit into the comprehensive plan of downtown Florida?
And is
I
the
think that's
zone
enough.
change pack only, or are they also talking about workforce
What
housing?
about workforce housing in Pearl River?
Because
Because,
that also is a zone.
And this would be phrased as a request from us,
Yes, a
correct?
request.
Okay, good.
It's a comment.
Inquiry.
So we make that,
Comments.
That's a comment, this is our comment on their request, the lead agency, that they're gonna make a zone change. So all we're doing is making a comment as to what our feelings are.
They just need to be careful on the density.
That's right.
That's the whole thing.
That's the thing,
whole
if you
thing.
go to pack or workforce housing, you're talking about different density,
Yeah.
quite a different density.
All right, you have the comments?
So Cheryl has read back what she has, maybe you can have a vote if the majority of the board agrees that she needs a comment.
has that, everybody's heard what Cheryl has to say?
I agree.
Do we all agree upon that?
Yeah, we can
What's-
correct it when we get the minutes if we have a
I
problem.
agree.
What's the comment again, just read it back to you,
You want to say something about the density, about three-story buildings?
I think we say part of comprehensive plan, I think that kind of gets it, right?
Right, and is the zone just a pack, or is it also
into
include a
too deep.
workforce housing zone?
This is going back to the meeting, June 5th.
Because you have extra plaza down
So we have to vote on that? You want to vote on it or not?
Yeah, someone make a motion, and then
I make the motion, we
Second.
vote on the comments as read by Cheryl.
Yeah,
Second.
I will, you'll see them before I send them
Okay.
back.
Okay,
Those
send them
have
out
to
to
go
us?
back to the town
Okay.
council.
So,
Second.
Okay, Mr.
All in
Mandel,
favor?
second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
First.
I did. I make a motion to adjourn.
No, we got to do the minutes for last meeting.
Motion to accept the minutes?
Second,
all in favor?
Mr. Bond, all in favor?
Aye.
I wasn't here.
Motion to close the,
Make a motion to close
adjourn.
the meeting.
okay, second,
Second.
all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All right.
Okay.